This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where you bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
On today's Compliance Tip of the Day, we begin a two-part look at best practices in a cross-border investigation. The next two episodes are based on the article Internal Investigations, How to Conduct an Anti-Corruption Investigation, Developing and Implementing the Investigative Plan by Mara Sen. Today we'll look at her first 5 tips. Number 1, offer interview translations. While many people outside the U.S. have various levels of capability in their non-native language, i.e. English, you can get into some very detailed questions in an investigation, and you may not have, or they may not have, enough English skills to understand everything you're asking, and you should not assume they do. So be ready to provide a translator. 2, avoid cultural pitfalls. Cultural pitfalls can be something you do not know anything about, but you can fall easily into. The issue of personal privacy or other issues can pop up in a way you're not expecting, so you need a local counsel to guide you through some of these. Number 3, observe data privacy restrictions. Obviously, GDPR is the world's leader in data privacy, and while many Americans are aware of the different data privacy restrictions, they may not be as well versed into the details. So once again, rely on local data privacy counsel. Number 4, comply with labor requirements. Similar to the long-standing Weingarten requirement or right of unionized employees to have a representative present for interviews, there are many countries where work council or similar organizations are responsible for the interactions between employers and employees. Moreover, employees have certain statutory or labor code-based rights, regardless of whether or not they are members of a labor union. You can drill down into these types of questions, or rather they can prevent you from meeting or even interviewing employees. And finally, be aware of other local requirements. This is where your local in-country counsel will be critical for you, and you should prepare with him prior to beginning your investigation to make sure you don't trip up on any local requirements, both countrywide, citywide, and perhaps even province-wide. So lots of reliance on local counsel. As you know, this month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.